Thank you. Thank you for the intro, Matt. My Teams is a bit delayed and seems like the screen is also kind of stuck.
Do you want me to try to share my screen and advance the slides, or?
Yeah. Can you please give it a try? This is like frozen for me.
Sure. Let's go with that. Let's go to presentation mode. Whoops. I'm gonna just share my other screen, so give me a moment. I'm gonna stop sharing again here and share this screen. There we go. Can everyone see that?
Yes, I can see it.
All right.
Can we go one more slide up, Matt, please? We just wanted to quickly go over the logistics with the team.
Yep, absolutely. Is that good?
Yep, thank you. So thank you everyone for joining in today. Like Matt mentioned, I'm Preeti and I work as a PM on the BRICS project with Matt. Today we will be going over the release updates with you. Today's presentation is going to be shorter compared to the other seminars that we've had. But before we begin, I just wanted to go over the logistics. Keep your microphones muted as usual, unless you have a question. And today's session will be recorded and we'll be posting it on the BRICS website. And the URL for it is mentioned on the slide. As always, we encourage you to participate. If you have any questions, you can post it on the chat. We will be monitoring it throughout the seminar today and answering. And we will also pause between the presentations so that you can unmute yourself and ask questions. So moving on, like Matt mentioned, today we'll be sharing the release updates. So for people who are not familiar, the BRICS releases, they are named after the superheroes. So in December, we had Thor and followed by the Thor Minor. And then we have the Underdog release coming up in June. We have about like a couple of major releases and a few minor releases throughout the year, where we push out the main features and enhancements on the BRICS instances. So we'll start with like Tor release. We deployed this in production last year, December 14th. And this release, as always, right, comprised of multiple feature enhancements across, and we introduced new functionality as well. We expanded the workflow for meta study module. We also launched Globus endpoints, which has tremendously enhanced the submission tool performance. And with every release, we also come up with like few UI improvements that help the users with the usability and navigation across the website. Security fixes, these also are part of our regular release updates. We always try to update the libraries and be compliant with the CIT security requirements. Along with the features on the regular modules, we also launched a couple of new websites. One is Intramural, the other one is Sandbox. And we also worked with NAI and launched a new public website for CVI. So I won't go into all the details, but I'll touch upon the major enhancements throughout all the features that we talked about in here. So the first one that we did was like for meta study. So for people who are not familiar with the meta study module, this is one of the BRICS module where the users, they can use it to aggregate the data from the BRICS studies and bring it into this module and perform analysis. But recently, we also modified it and made it more robust so that the users, they can also upload external data, which is like in the unstructured format, and store it in the meta study module. So we'll added like directly adding big file sizes to the MetaStudy module, which can be uploaded and downloaded by the users, as well as we enhance like a lot of like workflows, especially for the admins. So if a user creates a MetaStudy, they can um, request it to be published by the admins. So the admins, the operations team members, they can review whatever's put in, validate, and everything looks good. They can publish it. But we also introduced like a couple of more workflows where the admins, they can archive an existing meta study and also delete if needed. So yeah, it seems like a simple, right, like feature, but it had to go through a lot of like changes in the back end. From the user perspective, the request has to be made, and from the admin perspective, all the actions, they can either approve it or deny it. Plus, the users, they can upload documentation, provide reasons why they are requesting it to be archived or deleted. So a lot of changes went into the meta study. The next one that we have is Globus integration. So this is like one of the beta versions that we pushed out with the Thor release. This was a admin-only feature for Thor. We are hoping to make it available to all the users going with the underdog. So we worked with the HPC team and utilized their Globus endpoints. So if a user has a Globus account with HPC, they can transfer all their files from the HPC Globus endpoint to the BRICS Globus endpoint, and then the data can be seamlessly uploaded to the BRICS system through the submission tool. We've noticed like significant improvements with the performance in here, but we'll let you guys try and give us the feedback on this one. The next is tools page. This is in the portal. So a lot of users who are familiar with the different tools, we kind of like consolidated all the tools on one page and made it like easier for the users to find all the tools and access them from one place. So this is the new tools module, and it has some of the existing tools that you all are familiar with, like download tool, submission tool, the submission tool for image packing. We also added the UMLS mapping tool in here in the portal, and also for the Fire tool, where you can upload a Fire profile and get it converted into BRICS format, and you get the format in the data elements and form structures in the BRICS format. I don't know, like Matt, if you wanted to elaborate on any of these.
Only the kind of the bigger view of this is that, we've really done a lot of work on securing the system and being able to get data efficiently into the system, validating the data, moving it more efficiently using Globus and those things. And now we're starting to think about how we can support the analysis of data and processing of that data and providing tools. So that's really this is the first step in making an interface that allows us to add tools to the system that will support different kinds of analysis or different kinds of tools, and then we can make those available to the users. So I think this is a big, huge step forward in adding more tools, more on the back end to support kind of the wrangling of the data and analysis of that data.
Thank you. We also added like a couple of new instances. BRICS intramural website, this was set up in Oz, and it's available for the intramural users. If you are interested in utilizing this instance, please reach out to either Matt or myself. You can be added to the website as a user, and you can play around and check out the modules in the portal. And we also introduced the sandbox instance, which is mostly for internal users, for us to experiment with like bigger data sets and improve the performance and all of it. So this one is set up on premise, and it's just for internal usage. And like I was saying, we worked with NEI. We came up with like multiple iterations of the design, and we were finally able to launch the CVI website in production. The website link is there on the slide. If you want to check out, you can click on the link and give it a try. This is Drupal based, and it has like a few pages with the latest design changes in there. The next is after the tour, we usually, every major release, it's followed by a minor release. So we had tour minor release. This was deployed in production in February. And the main reason for having the minor releases is like we harmonized the code from the CASA team with the BRICS code and try to have the same common code base across. So this was done and we deployed it in February, and the deployment also had a few enhancements across data dictionary. We made like a few of the unified medical standardization added to the data elements and also form structure. We have like you can map the UMLS standards to the dictionary data elements. We also added the CDISC to it. Accounts module, again, we had like several enhancements. A few of them, they were like on our end to have more information displayed for the users on their My Profile page. We introduced quite a few API endpoints. This was in an effort to um, help out with all the AI initiatives that are happening across our site. So we introduced like a few new tools. You have the DMT tool, which is data mapping and transformation tool, CDISC, aims for DE. So we had to work on the API endpoints, which are available for public usage for these tools. We added those. We also worked with the hygiene team and made changes to their public site. This is again Drupal based, and again we worked with them, came up with like few design options, worked with them on selecting whatever works the best for them, and implemented the changes. And this was also deployed with the tow miner. And along with this, there's like a few changes that we did for NTRR and FIDBA public sites, the infographics for how to request an account. This was also, we worked with the NTRR and FIDBA program on kind of coming up with a consensus on the design. And then we deployed these changes also with the Tor minor release.
I just wanted to jump in here real quick, Preeti. The DMT tool and the aims for DE tool now incorporate some AI functionality to help automate the process of doing some of the data migration and translation, as well as the aims for DE that was worked on by our data scholar, Maria Bagonis, who helped build a tool that will find data elements within our system so that it's more easily be able to find data elements and then be able to migrate your data into the system. And in fact, it was based on the AIMS 4D tool that we incorporated some of that functionality into the data translation tool, again, to help automate the process of migrating data into the system.
Yeah, I think there's like a question, right? Like Maria was asking if Tor is a version or instance. So Maria, you might have missed, right? All our release names, they are based off superhero names, and Tor is one of them. After that, you'll see Underdog. We've had like Spider-Man and other releases, right? Like again, all based off superhero names.
Yeah, I think V is the one after that is Valkyrie.
Yes, after Underdog, it's Valkyrie.
Yeah. All right.
So like I was saying, the design changes. So you can see the screen print in here for the hygiene website. This has been modernized. We worked with the users and decided on the images and the content for the website, and this has been updated in production. And the other public site change that I was talking about was like accounts request. So again, we work with the different program users and uh, work with them and try to see what makes the most sense. And we came up with a step-by-step instructions on how to create an account for NTRR users, and we kind of replicated the same for FIDBR. And of course, they both are like customized based on the name of the instance. So this is for NTRR. We have something similar for FIDBR. And these are the snapshots of the different tools that we were talking about. On the top, you can see the CETUS to BRICS, and then we have the AIMS for DE tool. These are all deployed on production, and if you're interested, you can reach out to us. We can provide you the link, and if you need like a walkthrough on this, we can do that as well for you. This is another snapshot of the tool that we're talking about, data mapping and transformation tool. Like Matt mentioned, this now utilizes AI feature for performing semantic searches for the data elements and the form structures. This is a tool where you can upload a legacy dataset file in the CSV format, and the tool will kind of provide you the options to map the data elements to the BRICS data elements. And once it's done, you can also have the CSV, which is ready to be uploaded to the BRICS website using the submission tool. So those were the updates for the past releases. I'll just take a pause and see like if anyone has any questions. I think Kerry was asking about the aims for DE. So thank you, Maria, for taking that one.
Yeah, I just want to say definitely feel free to reach out. It's still a work in progress. It's a little bit of a beta. I've worked extensively with the operations team, so we've hopefully the workflow is somewhat intuitive and there's information boxes. But as I said, I'm always around. And if there's interest about different features or working on other projects, let me know too. So thanks so much.
Cool. So if no other questions, we can move forward. So the next upcoming release or releases, I should say, we have a couple of things slated down. The first that we have is the struts upgrade. Maybe we can go ahead, Matt. Yeah, so struts upgrade, this is like just a technical upgrade. We are going to upgrade the struts libraries. We are also making changes to the Tomcat, and there's like a list of all the running libraries that we have, which we are updating. So as you know, like from the front end or the feature wise, right, it's not going to make much of a difference, but this is much needed for us to be continue being like a secure platform. Since there's like so many upgrades, right, we have to make sure that the system continues to perform as it is currently doing now. So there's a lot of testing involved. So the devs, the QA teams will be testing the features, performing like mostly regression testing and making sure the system continues working the way it's been working. So this is going out in production end of March. And this is currently being tested in stage. And the next one that we have is Underdog release. This is also going to be a big release. We are hoping to have it deployed in production by end of June. And again, right, like we are working on a few of the AI features. One of the biggest ones is like the query tool. We are integrating it with the AI in the backend, so the users, they can put in their query in natural language, and they will get the information back from the AI, and they can either enhance the query or request to run the query. So this is very exciting. The team is very exciting and working towards that. Another big feature that is going to be deployed with Underdog is incremental loads. So as some of you are familiar with the Proforms module, where the data collection happens, and the collection, once it's locked, the users, they have to wait overnight to have the data show up in the query tool. We have been working on this. We moved from the Postgres to MongoDB database in order for this to happen. And now we are taking it a step further down where the data, once it's locked in Proforms, it will show up in the query tool in the real time. It might be delayed by a minute or two because it's still like performing some data transfer in the backend, but instead of waiting overnight, you will be able to see it come into the query tool. And this feature is available only for the data sets that are coming from Proforms. Because as you know, Proforms is like one individual submission at a time, whereas like if you make submission through the submission tool, that is bulk upload, and for that we'll have to continue waiting overnight. But the Proforms updates, they should be visible in the query tool at the real time. The next, again, big one is the Globus integration. This is something that we've been working on with the Thor release. You saw like we did the beta version for submission tool. We are taking it another notch higher. Now we are going to do it for meta study module where the users, they can again upload their files using the Globus endpoints, and also the users, they should be able to download the BRICS data and put it in the Globus API endpoint. And we'll continue to making changes to the Fedber and TRR websites and UI improvements just to streamline the user experience. That will continue happening. And here are a few snapshots. So this is like a view of the meta study. So in the drop down that is there, you will now have the option to upload via Globus. And if you have all the files set up in the Globus endpoint, you can continue with upload in here. And this is again another snapshot of the download tool. So now you'll have option to download via Globus in the dropdown. So the features that we currently have, where you can upload through your laptop or download on your local laptop, that they will continue to be there. In addition to those, we'll be adding the Globus features. That's all I had. And Matt, if you want to add anything, please feel free to do so. If anyone has any questions, we can take that as well.
I can't see if there are any questions. Let's see, chat. Okay, looks like I don't see any additional questions, and we can just about wrap it up and get out of here just about on time. So again, thanks for joining today. I hope this gives you some of the idea of where we've been a little bit in the last 6 months and where we're moving forward. Lots of exciting stuff. We're really now kind of focusing on how do we take and make the data within this repository more usable and add kinds of functionality using some AI models and techniques to help extract that data in an efficient way. And as always, we're always working on improving and making sure that we have a secure system for the data storage and provide the workflows for getting access to that data. So I think you can see BRICS is a really comprehensive tool, secure, comprehensive repository informatics system. And, as the new requirement for data sharing starts to, really take effect and impact the grantees as intramurally and extramurally, that I think BRICS could be a very cost-effective solution in supporting your institutes and efforts. So, if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to meet with you and see how we can efficiently support your efforts. All right. With that, I think we can close it.
Yes,
No other.
thank you all for joining in.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, did we stop recording?